Here's a quick introduction of myself. My name is Satyaki Chakrabarti, and I am from Calcutta, but I'm based in Pune. I am a software developer by profession and an artist by passion. I started my art journey about, say, 2.5 years ago. And ever since, I have been very keenly interested in the Indian folk art forms. I primarily do the Bengal style Patachitra Kalighat painting and also Phad art from Rajasthan. And that's about it. So my genre of interest in art would be Indian folk art forms and Indian classical art forms. And yeah, that's about it from my side. That's who I am. Let me introduce you to the fur art. So it's basically a Rajasthani folk art, which predominantly is practiced or originated from the Bhilwara region of Rajasthan. And it is a scroll painting. So when we say scroll painting, the paintings are made on like large strips of cloth with vegetable colors, natural dyes, and they're mostly made with by the local people of that region. And since the local people are not professional artists, but they're immensely talented in art form, they have very little things at their disposal. And they try to make these amazing art forms with those little stuffs that they have, like very basic brushes, very basic palettes of color, because they are mostly using vegetable dyes. So they take the colors from leaves and flowers and all these stuffs that they find around. So the palette of any folk art, first to begin with, is very restricted, and same goes with fur art. And we'll move on to it once we go deeper into the art form. And what I will be doing is, and before we begin on fur art, we must know that the major type of fur art that is practiced is called Pabuji ki fur. And Pabuji is a local deity of that region. And if you can understand, Pabuji comes from the word Prabhuji, right? The deity, the god. And the pictures that they draw on these large strips of cloth are mostly their ballads, the deities' ballads, their wars, their different stories that they paint. And traditionally, apart from Prabhuji, even Ramayana and Mahabharata paintings from those epics were also drawn on this cloth. But we are going to do it on a piece of paper today. So the first step of drawing the face is to use a circle. So I'm going to use a stencil just for like to make it simple. I'm going to draw a rough circle. So once we are done with the base, so the circle will give us the basic shape of the head. And then we're going to go ahead with the nose and the lips and all. So we draw the nose here. And the lips. Then we draw the chin part. So typically of fur faces, it's a round face, not very chiseled like the other Rajasthani miniature paintings we have. So the nose, the lips, and the chin is done. This will be not the throat, rather I should say the double chin. And then we are going to divide this circle for the hairline or the ornaments. I've divided this circle in this portion. And I'm going to draw another smaller circle here for the earring. Again, it is very important to have the kind of jewelry right for any folk painting to get the feel of it. So I'm going to make another line here. So we have the basic shape of the head ready. So let's start from here. And since the lady was dancing, and it is also very typical to any form of fur art, the torso is of a typical shape. So kindly follow the shape that I'm drawing here. We've drawn the head. The first step was to draw a circle. Then the next step was to draw the nose, the lips, the chin along the circle. And then we divided the circle for the hairline and the jewelry here. We did a small circle here for the earring, and we did the ears. And then we went ahead with starting to draw the torso. So now, since we are drawing a lady, the torso will be of a typical shape. And now I'll move ahead with the remaining part of the torso. So this is the shoulder part that I'm drawing. So I'm drawing the limbs now. I'm going to rub it off a bit here to make it more circular and uniform. I'm going to change it a bit just to get the posture right. See, these curves are very important to give it a more dancing-like posture, and they're also very true to the typicalities of fur art. Let's just move towards the other hand, and then finally we'll draw the fingers. So this other hand will start from here. So the fingers of far painting are very typical. They're like leaves, not proper fingers. We've completed one finger. Now we're going to go ahead with the other one. We have done the head, we have done the torso, we have done the hands. We are going to go ahead with the next part of the painting, which is the skirt or the ghagra. So this will be a long, smooth curve like this. A simple curve. And the other part here, just to get the posture right, we're going to draw the hips first. And when you begin the hips, it has to be a continuation from the torso to give it a uniform feeling. So now I'm going to put the reference here. So the hips and the ghagra. So these frills, right? So these are like curves like this. So how we are going to do, like draw the curve. We are going to first draw a simple curve like this, and then going to draw the smaller curves along with it, just to get the shape right. Otherwise, it will be a little like here and there. So like I'm drawing this rough curve for my reference. And then I'm going to draw the smaller curves. So we are done with this part. I'm going to clean it up later. And now we do another border here. And this will be a curved line only. We're going to just make borders. So we're going to make another curved line sort of parallel to it, keeping the same thickness. And now we're going to join these with the, like these corners of the curves. We're going to join it with this line. Just to adorn the ghagra a little bit more, we're going to do another set of curved lines here, like almost symmetrical to the lower curved lines. I'm going to draw along these. Again, I'm going to draw a similar kind of a thing, like a border. Same thing of a definite thickness. So now let's come towards making the pallu or the chunri. So, you know, like the hips, right? So when you guys wear ghagra, you kind of like wrap around the dupatta around the waist and the hip, right? So imagine this to be wrapped around your waist and hip and then tied somewhere or taken above your head. So now we are going to like draw lines here, these lines. So just to have a symmetry, I would say we just like eyes idea, we divide this part in two halves. So the first curve will be like this. Then we divide this one further like this. And this one like this, slightly towards the outer part. So the entire twirl of the ghagra will be captured. So I'm quickly gonna border, like make lines along with it. I'm gonna draw another line here on this orni thing, which is wrapped around the waist. So we're done for the ghagra part. We are going to draw the legs now. So the back leg, imagine this is my hip, right? So the curve is going to be like this. If you're dancing like this. Okay. So on this eye estimation, my leg will start from here. It's like eye estimation to get the proportions right of a body. I'm going to draw the heels now. I'm drawing the foot. Trust me, it doesn't need to be perfect of like a human foot because nothing is perfect in folk painting. Because as we all know, the artists are not trained artists. They're like local people just depicting their stories through their version of art. So I'm going to draw the other leg. So we have done the legs. We're going to draw little berries as ornaments. Now we are going to draw the gungat. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to draw the pen work on this one. Rather, I would do the pen work on, so the painting on the one that I've already completed, because it's the same thing. The shape of the head and the gungat is important for it to look authentic. By the way, if you guys are a fan of Phad Art, you should follow Kalyan Joshi ji on Instagram, and he has his handle also called Chitrashala, I guess. Kalyan Joshi and Prakash Joshi are from the Joshi families of Bhilwara, who originally come from the folk artist family. They are so amazing, and the works of Kalyan Joshi and Prakash Joshi is so good that they have kind of modernized Phad Art, and they've made it according to our current scenario. Like they have some amazing pandemic themed, and it's really amazing. I actually get inspired. Like my inspiration is their work. So I'll draw the eyes. So first you draw a straight line like this. Straight line, and then the curved line here. The eyeball, the lid, and the eyebrow. I'm going to move ahead painting this reference drawing that I have with me. So you can use gouache, which is nothing but very opaque watercolor, or poster colors as well, or acrylics. So you get them in little tubes from the brand in India called Brustro. So I've just like poured them on these little palettes, and I'm going to use it directly from here. So the color palette, like I was mentioning in the beginning, it's very restricted in Phad Art. So the basic colors that we will use are red, yellow, green, blue. That's all. We don't use many other colors. Sometimes orange, because orange can be mixed with yellow and red. And sometimes little pinkish shade with yellow, red, and white. But generally, other colors like pink or violet or purple, you would never see them in a Phad Art. If you want to keep it traditional, if you want to keep the authenticity of the art form, you have to understand its background, that it is a folk art, and the people from the villages or the remote areas don't have access to a lot of colors. They pick it from the nature and they do it. So I'm going to begin painting. I'm going to use gouache. So in order to have an idea about the painting, what I'm going to first going to do is I'm going to give you like the basic colors, which color will go, and then we'll fill it up. So I'm taking the skin color. Skin color is nothing but orange and white. So you take these, and I'll just mark the places where this color would go. It would go on the face, obviously. Keep the eyes and the hairline remaining. One quick tip. So I did the outline with the pen. And then sometimes what would happen is when you paint over it, since gouache is very opaque, it will cover up the outline. So you have to redo the outline once again after the painting, because for any folk art, the black outline is very important. It enhances the painting, which is very different from the realistic paintings that we make. So the skin color would also go on this part, just below the blouse. I'm just doing swatches of the skin color. So it's very easy for the skin color to make out because any exposed portion of the body would have the skin color. So the legs, the feet, like this. So it goes in the face, in the torso, the hands, the legs. So the blouse is red. Let's have the dupatta, which is wrapped around the hip, as red. These portions, the one without the design, would be red, and the borders would be yellow. The ghagra, these 4 blocks, what we're going to do is we're going to divide it in 2 colors: blue, green, blue, green. This portion would be blue. Again, the alternate portion, this would be blue. And we are going to paint these portions with green. Okay, so this will look like a striped ghagra with blue and green. Now let's come to the highlights. Till now, I was using this #1 brush, but it keeps on varying from brand to brand. So just see the thickness that I've been using. This was the one that I was using. I'm going to pick a thinner brush now. This is a 00 brush, slightly thinner. We are going to do the borders and the stuffs. And generally, mostly the borders look good in yellow with a contrast color. First, let's do the border of the blouse. Here goes yellow. Here goes yellow. The neck of the blouse is also yellow. The jewelry on the hand is yellow. The one on the wrist. These borders of the orni, the ghagra, they will be in yellow. Even this border. The lower frills of the ghagra, you can make it red, and these curves will be yellow. Basically, the main idea is there is no hard and fast rule which color goes where. But we have a specific set of colors, like I said, green, blue, red, yellow, and you mix and match with it according to how it looks. And the dupatta, since we are making the ghagra and the blouse mostly in blue and red, let's make the dupatta's main portion as green with these circles in yellow and red. And the lower part can also be yellow. And the matkas and the diyas, you can make it with yellow because they will be painted. And yeah, so be it. And the jewelries, the foot kara, the armlets, and to enhance your painting, after the painting, again make the outline with black. That would make your painting look really nice.
So this is the artwork that I did in the workshop. This is a finished product.